Hello everyone, welcome to DevOps classes. So here I am going to cover DevOps tools with AWS Cloud. So if you don't know about DevOps also, so here I am going to start with scratch level. So here we are using pre-requirement Linux environment. So if you don't know Linux also, here I am going to cover Linux. Okay. So these are the pre-requirement. First of all, you should know about Linux, so how to use Linux and everything. So then after, we should know about AWS cloud also. In outside we are using different types of clouds like AWS, Azure and Oracle, Google, and we are using Chinese cloud also, Alibaba cloud. So these are the clouds we are using in outside. But thing is, you can take any one cloud and you can use DevOps tools. So here I am going to cover DevOps with AWS. So coming to DevOps, what is DevOps? DevOps is nothing but, so here we should provide dev plus operation. We need to provide like combination between development plus operation. We should involve in all the stages. So we are using development team and we are using operation team. Okay. So whenever if you implemented any application, okay, so that application should be up to it is going to the production level. So we should involve it in every part. So that's why we are using DevOps. So we are calling as it's a methodology. Why we are using methodology? Combination of tools we are using in these modules. So that's why we are using DevOps. Coming to DevOps tools. So these are the DevOps tools we are using in our day-to-day activities. So here Git as a version control system. Basically we are using Git as a version control system. So here, so whenever developer develops the code till it reaches to production, okay, so that complete code stored into Git location, so that source code completely stored into Git location. You need to take that code and you should do building. So building purpose we are using Maven tool. So build your code purpose we are using Maven tool. Nothing but, so we have different types of applications like Java related applications, .NET related application, Python related application. So those applications we need to take source code and try to do building. So building purpose we are using Maven tool. So coming to Jenkins, it's continuous integration, continuous delivery and deployment purpose we are using. So here it is completely automation purpose. Basically we are using Jenkins. And Ansible, it is for configuration management purpose we are using Ansible. If you want to do any deployments we are using Ansible too. Coming to Docker, it's a containerization purpose we are using. So if you want to do any application, we have different types of services. So those services we can call it as microservices. That microservices we should store in our containers. So that's why we are using Docker. So similarly, if you want to communicate to one container to another container, so we are using Kubernetes. Kubernetes basically we need to communicate with multiple microservice purpose, and if you want to do any deployments and everything, it is easy compared to another tools. Coming to DevOps Flow. So assume like that developers implemented any code, that code we need to commit. Once commit is completed, that files are stored into GitHub location. So we should take updated code from Git and we should do building. So building purpose we are using Maven tool. So whenever you take that Maven tool, here we should follow the Maven lifecycle. So whenever you follow that Maven lifecycle, we are getting updated files. So those files we are taking from Jenkins location. So here we need to integrate with Git and Maven, we should integrate with Jenkins. So then after we need to do deployments. So deployment part we are using Ansible. So continuously we are deployment. So that's why we are calling as it's a continuous delivery. So continuous delivery purpose we are take help from Ansible, and we should do deployment. If we want to do deployments, we can use Docker. So Docker, it's a containerization purpose we are using. So whenever any updated code came in these applications, we are injecting in our containers. So then after, so same process we can do in our Kubernetes also. Kubernetes, it's a microservice applications maintaining purpose. If you want to communicate to one service to another service, we are using Kubernetes. At the same time, backend it should be supported Docker. So backend we need Docker packages. At the same time, we can do deployment in our Kubernetes using Ansible. So directly we can do deployment using Ansible too. Otherwise, we can take help from Docker packages, and we can do deployments in this Kubernetes. So two ways we can able to integrate. So here I am going to explain. So in this Jenkins, we can integrate with Ansible servers. At the same time, Jenkins should be integrated with Docker, and also Jenkins also integrate with Kubernetes. So here, how to do deployments? Deployment point of view, we should take help from Ansible. Directly we can do deployments in our Kubernetes. So deployment is nothing but, assume like that you are using one application. If you want to inject any new feature, so we are doing, like we are calling as, that is deployment. So deployment is nothing but we are injecting any new feature in our existing applications. So that's why we can call it as, it's a deployment. Clear? So whenever you do deployment, so we should follow the different types of environments, like test environment, QA environment, and staging environment, production environment. So these type of environments basically we are using in our different ways. Okay, so up to production we should involve. So similarly we are following Agile methodology. So in this Agile methodology, so we should, as a DevOps person, we should follow Agile methodology. So requirement keep on changing, so development need to be fast. So that's why we are using Agile methodology. But basically, so previously they used waterfall model. So in this waterfall model, so complete requirement clean and fixed. So that's why they used waterfall model. But the thing is, so our requirement keep on changing, right? So that's why we are using, nowadays everyone using Agile methodology. So one example in our waterfall model is a banking sectors. Basically we are using waterfall model. Agile methodology we are using for like Phone Pay, Google Pay, so otherwise Paytm, like that they are using Agile methodology. So developers need to be used Agile methodology, operation team also need to be used Agile methodology. I am going to show you life cycle of like DevOps. So here whenever you implemented any application, so that is we need a roadmap. So roadmap and everything we take care about architecture level, means that product manager or product owner. So they created some roadmaps and everything. Whenever they created any roadmaps, so we should follow that roadmaps. So that roadmaps basically we are involved in our software developer team, that is we are calling as coding. Coding is nothing but Java related persons or .NET related persons. They are involved in these areas. Then after we should take updated code in from Git location, means so this is our responsibility. So we should take code from Git location and we need to build that code. Whenever we build that code, we are getting updated files. Those files we can do communicate with Jenkins, and automatically we can do that triggerings. So whenever you do that triggerings, so we can do deployments. Okay, so once deployment is completed, so that product is going to the live location. Whenever you do deployments, we are using Ansible. So similarly that product is going to the live location. So everyone we need to do monitoring. Clear? I am going to tell you one more scenario. So assume like that I am using Facebook. So whenever you used Facebook, any new feature came into market, so that market level we need to, like everyone can able to use that new feature, right? So backend, those are like developers and testers working on that new feature. So whenever we are facing any bugs or everything, we should inform to developer team. Once issues are resolved, that product is going to the updated features. We can call it as, it's a continuous integration. Okay, so whenever if you're not facing any bugs, means that product is going into the updated features. Then after that product is going to the development side, means continuous development. So if you're facing any bugs, means so continuously development and continuous testing is mandatory. Okay, once it is going to the live location, we need to do monitoring. So that's why we are using continuous monitoring. So coming to as a DevOps engineer, we should know about so life cycle of DevOps. So here I'm going to involved, means we should involve continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, continuous deployment and monitoring. So these are the challenges we should face it. Coming to flow, so here we should follow CI/CD. CI/CD is nothing but continuous integration and continuous delivery and deployment. So up to here, so it is dividing into two parts. It is calling as it's a CI, and below it is calling as CD. Okay, continuous integration is nothing but up to Jenkins part we can call it as continuous integration. Okay, so deployment point of view, we are using Ansible, Docker and Kubernetes. Clear? So here once deployment completed, we are deploying into which locations, which cloud we are using. So here I'm going to explain AWS Platform. So here we need to create some services. Depends upon the requirement, we should create that services. Those services we should involve as a DevOps tools. For example, developers implemented some code, then after we need to do building, then after we should do testing. Once testing is completed, we should do deployments. This type of methodology we should follow and to do to deployment. So these are the concepts I am trying to cover in this course. So that's all I can say that. So guys, this complete course, it is up to 65 days. Okay, so if you like this demo, you can enroll this course. If you want to more details, means you can ping me in that chat. Okay, thank you.